Imagine this. Someone throws an insult at you, right in front of everyone. Your chest tightens, your instinct screams to fire back, to prove yourself, to not look weak. That's natural. But here's the twist. Every time you snap, argue, or defend, you've already given them what they wanted. Your energy, your attention, your peace. Truly smart people know that power doesn't come from loud reactions. It comes from quiet control. Like a chess player, they see 2, 3, 10 moves ahead. Outsmarting isn't about shouting louder. It's about staying steady when others expect you to break. And here's the beauty of this episode. While we explore how to remain calm, sharp, and unshakable when people try to drag you down, you'll also learn natural English expressions and phrases that carry the same strength. You'll practice not just how to survive conflict, but how to communicate like a confident, fluent speaker. So let me ask you, are you ready to stop reacting and start mastering the moment? Then let's begin this journey together. Here's something most people never stop to consider. When someone tries to push your buttons, it's rarely about you. It's about them. Insecurity, jealousy, the hunger for control. These are the hidden strings pulling their actions. They poke, they provoke, because making you react gives them a fleeting taste of power. Think of it like a street performer who thrives only when the crowd pays attention. The moment you stop feeding them with your energy, their act collapses. That's why calmness isn't weakness. It's a quiet reversal of the game. In English, we have powerful phrases for this mindset. Don't take the bait and rise above it. These expressions carry more than just words. They carry strategy. They remind you that refusing to engage doesn't mean you've lost, it means you've chosen a higher ground. So, the next time someone pokes at you, remember, their attack reveals more about their emptiness than your worth. And when you refuse to play along, you don't just protect your peace, you take the power back. Picture this. Someone throws a cutting remark at you. Your pulse quickens, anger rises, and before you even think, the words fly out of your mouth. For a split second, it feels good. You stood your ground. But look closer. What really happened? You just stepped into their trap. It's like they tossed you a rope of conflict, and by snapping back, you grabbed it with both hands. Now you're tied to their game, dragged into an argument you never needed. You defend. You explain. You justify. And in that moment, you hand over control. There's a smarter way. Pause. Breathe. Let them speak, but don't give them the prize they're reaching for, your reaction. In English, we capture this wisdom with phrases like, kill them with kindness, or take the high road. Both remind us that calm and grace disarm tension far better than any angry words. Because here's the truth. When you hold your fire, you don't look weak, you look untouchable. And that's the kind of strength people quietly admire. Silence can thunder louder than any shout. Imagine you're in a crowded room, someone hurls an insult your way, and every eye turns to you, waiting for the explosion. But instead of snapping, you pause. A slight smile. Nothing more. That silence, that stillness, it shakes the air. Why? Because silence speaks volumes. It says, I'm not rattled. I'm above this. It shifts the focus from their outburst to your composure. And in that pause, everyone notices the difference. One person desperate for attention, the other radiating control. For English learners, this is more than a mindset. It's a tool. You don't always have to fill the air with words. You can let the pause breathe for you. Let silence become your punctuation mark, your highlight. Think of it as the moment in a song when the music drops out and everyone leans in closer. That's the hidden strength of silence. It draws people in, makes them listen harder, and leaves them remembering not what you said, but what you didn't. Outsmarting isn't about trading blows or winning the argument of the moment. It's about stepping back and seeing the bigger picture, like a strategist surveying the entire battlefield while others lock horns. To outsmart is to read the motives behind the mask. In English, you might hear the phrase, "I saw right through them." It means you recognize the game they were playing before they even made their move. Outsmarting is that awareness. The ability to notice not just what someone says, but why they say it. It's not manipulation, it's emotional intelligence. It's knowing when to use words, when to use silence, and when to simply walk away. Outsmarting means you don't get dragged into every skirmish. You conserve your energy, you protect your peace, and you surprise people with your calm clarity. Think of it like a river flowing around the rocks. The water doesn't fight the stone. It outlasts it, it shapes it, it moves beyond it. That's the essence of outsmarting. Quiet strength that always runs deeper. When the room heats up and tempers flare, the one who stays calm becomes the anchor everyone notices. That composure is magnetic. It draws respect without demanding it. Calm doesn't mean passive. It means powerful in a way that others can't quite touch. In English, people admire this quality with phrases like "they kept their cool" or "they didn't flinch." These aren't just compliments. They're acknowledgments of strength wrapped in stillness. And here's the secret. Powerful people don't waste words. They don't shout or over-explain. Their speech is like a scalpel, sharp, precise, and controlled. There's a saying, "Say less, mean more." When you strip away the clutter, every word carries weight. If you're learning English, this is a skill you can practice. Short, clear sentences, a steady tone. The courage to leave silence where others would rush to fill the gap. This is how you sound confident, not just in language, but in life. Reacting is fast, fiery, and often reckless. Someone throws a rude comment, and before your brain catches up, your mouth explodes, boom. That's reaction. Automatic, emotional, predictable. Responding, though, is different. It's deliberate, controlled. You feel the sting, but instead of lashing out, you pause, you breathe. You create a small space between their words and your answer. And in that space lies your power. There's a phrase in English, "Don't let them rent space in your head." It means don't hand over your peace of mind just because someone else is reckless with theirs. When you respond instead of react, you remain the landlord of your emotions. Think of it like chess versus checkers. Reacting is moving without thought, just jumping to the next square. Responding is strategy. Waiting, planning, choosing the move that serves you, not them. And in life, strategy always outlasts impulse. Sometimes the smartest move isn't to win today, it's to win tomorrow. Playing the long game means resisting the urge to clash in the moment, knowing that respect, reputation, and real influence are built over time. Let them believe they've scored a point. You're already 3 moves ahead. To disarm someone is to take away their weapon. And in conversation, that weapon is usually anger, sarcasm, or criticism. How do you neutralize it? Not by swinging back, but by surprising them. Imagine this. Someone sneers. That's a dumb idea. The expected reaction is a counterattack. But you smile and say, "Thanks for being honest. What's your idea?" Instantly, the energy flips. Their weapon slips from their hand because you refuse to pick up yours. This isn't weakness, it's mastery. By staying composed, you don't just stop the fight, you shift the ground beneath it. And in the long run, people remember not who shouted loudest, but who stayed steady when it mattered most. Empathy may seem soft, but in the heat of conflict, it's steel wrapped in velvet. When you recognize that someone lashes out because they're jealous, stressed, or desperate for attention, you stop taking their words personally. You shift from reacting emotionally to thinking strategically. A calm reply like, "It sounds like you have concerns. I'd like to hear more later," turns an attack into a conversation. That's empathy at work. Disarming without surrendering. Slowing down is another hidden weapon. In a world addicted to instant reactions, pausing is power. Someone fires a shot, and instead of snapping back, you breathe. The silence unsettles them. Suddenly, they're the ones scrambling to explain, while you stay in control. And then, there's humor. Not clownish, but light, confident humor that diffuses tension. Imagine someone sneering, "You always mess up." You smile and say, "I try to keep things interesting." The room laughs, the sting disappears, and you walk away untouchable. Empathy, patience, humor, 3 quiet shields that turn conflict into connection and leave your opponent with nothing left to throw. Here's the secret that great leaders, negotiators, and communicators know. The goal isn't to win every small argument, it's to master yourself. When you stop trying to win, you actually gain more. You listen better, you ask sharper questions. You unsettle people with your calm instead of your anger. Think of martial arts. The master doesn't fight with brute force. They use timing, balance, flow. The same is true in conversation. You don't need to clash. You move with the situation, choosing when to speak, when to pause, and when to walk away. That isn't weakness, it's wisdom. This is emotional intelligence, the real superpower. It's the ability to read a room, feel the undercurrents, and manage your own emotions so you never get dragged down by someone else's chaos. With it, you don't just argue, you influence. You don't just speak, you connect. So, how do you truly outsmart others? By refusing to fight the battles they set. By staying calm, steady, and clear. By letting silence, empathy, humor, and patience become your weapons. Outsmarting isn't about tricks, it's about presence. And when you master that, you win without ever looking like you're trying.